This isn't a Chicago Blackhawks hat. This is from a brand called Section 35. Significance being that Section 35 is part of the Constitution Act in Canada that recognizes and affirms Aboriginal rights. The reason why I love this brand so much is, number one, it's owned by Aboriginals that are trying to spread awareness about the genocide and them being oppressed as a consequence. But also they have a slogan called "Kill all mascots, save the people," which I love and it resonates with me. Well, this is a take on the Chicago Blackhawks hat where it's called Dead Hawks. And I love it because in this day and age, it's 2020, we shouldn't have caricatures of Aboriginal peoples on anything at all. I've been meditating a lot in light of everyone suddenly sharing and showing a spotlight on the issue that affects a lot of black people in regards to being murdered by the police and being mistreated in general and, you know, at the hands of an invisible enemy. And it just made me think, like, is all of this love and attention and whatnot, is it real? Is it a fad? So I was questioning it. And I remember running through a train of thought where I was putting stuff on a story, and then when I'm looking back through it, I'm like, like, this has the makings of a poem. So I thought, what better place than to try and read it now in terms of what I've done, but also to share the first take on Insta. Might as well. Share some Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey and revolutionary quotes so I know it's real. Engage in dialogue and research to understand so I know the deal. Is this a fad or fairy tale for you? Are you for genuine change or is it a follow fashion thing? I don't know if all this attention is real. When the glitz and glamour fades, when the meme stops, when the narrative shifts to the next thing, when our fight for liberty goes back to being muted, when the injustices we face are invisible under the spotlight, when everyone forgets, will you still have the same energy? 500 years of oppression and exploitation created the privilege you weren't even aware of until recently. My ancestors were exploited and forced to work for free. My ancestral lands were stolen alongside my ancestral culture, customs, spirituality and names. Whilst yours got rich, we were oppressed. Now do you see how far you've got a head start in the game? You can tell me it's real, but do you know it's real? You can respond with what sounds like you know the deal. You can share the resources and talk a great deal, but when there's no spotlight and the world is no longer stood still, will you still have the same energy or a deafening silence whilst oppressed peoples are killed? Let me know if it's real.